Hey, what is good, YouTube fam? JC here with Life with JC. So real quick, I just wanted to provide some extra commentary on Tijuana and its kind of economic development and how I kind of see it, besides, like the actual trip going down there. So Tijuana is vibrant. It has been experiencing, growth. There have been individuals who have been moving to TJ from other parts of Mexico because of the positive economic activity there. There's also a lot of cross-border economic activity. Folks who live in Tijuana and then they'll go to San Diego to work, or folks who live in San Diego and they'll go down to Tijuana and have businesses or whatnot. There's also plenty of retirees going down to Tijuana as well. Usually they'll go to Rosarito Beach, Ensenada, but still it'll end up having a derivative positive effect for even Tijuana. Also, Amazon right now is building out their distribution center, which will service a lot of the belt of Baja California, and they're promising one-day delivery. So that should have positive economic positive economic impact, especially when you think of like the actual extra jobs that it'll create and all that good stuff. Another good thing to note about Tijuana is it does have that tourist factor, where a lot of folks do go down there, especially from California, Nevada, Arizona, and all that good stuff. We'll go down there, we'll spend the weekend, and so the tourism sector is good. Obviously, during the pandemic, it contracted a little bit, but even then, just because they weren't as restricted, there were still individuals that were going down there and enjoying all the various activities that you can enjoy, and obviously being responsible, taking the measures. In fact, during the pandemic, I lived in Tijuana, and what was interesting was that a lot of the businesses in alignment with the local government were actually taking different types of health measures that we here were not taking. So it was really interesting to, for example, be in Tijuana, go to a business, have to wait at the door, them taking your temperature, sanitizing your shoes, and all that good stuff. I'm not saying that it's like the best protocols, but at least they were doing something. And whereas when I would cross over to San Diego, it was really interesting because I was taken aback, and it was just because I was so used to it already. But going into a business and not having to wait at the door, just making sure that I had my mask, and it really kind of confused me for a bit. I was like, oh, things are different here. So that was really interesting to kind of experience that. Obviously, Mexico had already dealt with a previous issue in the past, and that kind of prepared them to implement certain types of measures that weren't otherwise implemented here in the United States. And this is in no way, shape, or form to pass judgment or anything. This is just basically my kind of seeing it and then just reporting out. But in general, there's a lot of kind of positiveness going on in Tijuana, Baja California. In addition, though it did have some of those issues of their socioeconomic factors accentuated during the pandemic, likewise, like we saw maybe here in Los Angeles and some other parts of the country, it's kind of making that journey back to being where it was before. So that's really a great note. And so I just wanted to kind of share that out, and I didn't want to just clickbait and leave you hanging, but with the one of the additional things that I want to mention is there is a Costco in Tijuana. You can use your Costco membership when you're there, in case you want to go and purchase anything. It is literally like shopping at a local Costco. If you want to just go down there, buy some pizza, maybe you don't want to spend as much, or you want to bring it back to the hotel, They sell pizza, they sell everything you would expect from a Costco, and vice versa. If you have a Mexico Costco membership, you can also use it here in the States. I didn't know that. I asked around in some groups. So I actually have a Mexico Costco gift card. I purchased it during the pandemic when I was staying out there for a little bit. And I came to realize that I can actually use it out here as well, which was really great. I thought I was going to have to buy another membership. So just, if you do decide that you want to go and purchase some items out there in their Costco, if you ever do end up going down there, or even if you're going to visit any other spot in Mexico, take your Costco membership. You'll be able to use it. It'll be really resourceful for you because, one, you can go in, just like if you want to buy some pizza, you want to buy some toiletries, anything, or if you're going to be staying for a little longer, you want to buy some stuff in bulk, or you want to buy some, familiar brands that you enjoy, like Kirkland and all that good stuff. You'll be able to find it there. They do a really great job of exporting or importing a lot of the local brands that we see here in the States. So I just wanted to kind of provide some commentary on the general economic outlook for Tijuana and why, I say that it is vibrant. It's a growing city. You'll see individuals coming in from all parts of Mexico who are there to work. And I really do think now with the distribution center, that should make it even more so. In addition, you also have that factor of individuals coming down from California, some of the more southwest states. So it's really cool. And hopefully, some of those socioeconomic problems that they had been facing were a bit accentuated during because of the pandemic. Hopefully they can, make a speedy comeback, and be back to where they were. Before the pandemic, they started to do a lot of real estate development in areas that were otherwise not really, targeted in the past. And now you see really nice buildings in certain areas because they're very centric. So that's another positive upside of all this activity. And in general, one of the reasons why Tijuana, or just in general the border states, have a tendency of being this way is because of that, right? Like, they are a border state. A lot of individuals figure, why would we make the effort to invest? And so a lot of the investments go into other places of Mexico. But, the people of Tijuana, they really love their city. They really are invested in its well-being. They're invested in it growing. And there are a lot of people that, end up really treating it as a second home. So that's the thing. If you go down there, there's a lot of people who will go down and, I think they'll just go and be like, well, I'm not in the US anymore. I can do whatever I want. I think it's still important to be mindful, of respecting that you're outside of, your environment, and just respecting the local norms. That, there's that saying, when in Rome, act as a Roman. So I think it's important to kind of behave adequately, to the environment, and not just because you're somewhere else, just go and do whatever you want. It's also important to realize that you are in a different country. You are under different regulations. It's not like going to Las Vegas and, if you get in trouble, you're still in the US. It's not a big deal. Here you're in a different country, and so there's still different norms, and those norms should be followed. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this segment. Quick little commentary of the positive outlook for Tijuana, besides the trip that's coming up, especially if you wanted to learn a little bit more about where it stands right now, where it might be going, in the future. I hope you did enjoy it. So peace out, YouTube fam.